Hello and welcome to Adobe Live. Thank you so much for joining us today. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jordan Danae Ellis, and I'm here with Andy Lambert. Hey, Andy.
Hello, Jordan. Good to see you.
Good to see you. You have an exciting week this week because Max London is in 2 days.
Exactly. Busy one. Busy one.
Yeah.
All about Adobe Max. So yeah, very excited about the London edition.
Yeah, and so with that, definitely stay tuned to this week for lots of fun Adobe news coming later. And today we're gonna tease a little bit of it slash recap some of the cool things that have happened recently with a little bit of an Adobe Express update. But I guess we should intro ourselves before we fully dive in. Do you want to go first, Andy?
You go first, Jordan.
Okay. I'm Jordan Danae Ellis. I work on the Adobe Express community team. So I get to do live streams like this with Andy, in-person presentations, making tutorials, answering questions on Reddit and all that good stuff. So if you have questions about Adobe Express, please feel free to message me anytime, even if you're not live. But also for those live in chat today, please feel free to drop your questions for us. We should have time to answer lots of your product questions, so we'll do our best. And then I don't know, this will be super relevant today, but in my pre-Adobe life, I ran a bunch of small businesses. So Express is genuinely like the tool for me that I use and love. And I'm always so excited to share with other people who just need to make the stuff they need to make a little faster. So that's me.
Love it. Well, if we've not yet met, I'm Andy and I'm a senior product manager working on Adobe Express. So these kind of sessions, these ones where we talk about lots of new features and all the cool stuff you can do with them, are usually my favorites. So my background's always been in social media, however, so built a social media marketing platform, which we sold to Adobe 3 years ago. And yeah, so really the context of this session is like, how can we access the best quality tools and features that will allow us to stand out on social, that will allow us our new creative opportunities without being a creative expert? How can we use the brand new things that have landed in Adobe Express to level up our creative, to maximize our results on social? So that's what today is all about. And with that, I think we best go ahead and dive in.
Yeah.
So this session will be quite fun, interactive, lots of stuff coming your way. Ask any questions you want related to the new features we're about to show you, or anything you're like, oh, I wish Adobe Express could. Go ahead and share that in the chat, and we'll be watching out for it. But lots of stuff is happening right now, and it's, you'd be forgiven for not keeping tabs on Adobe Express's progress and what's latest, because to be honest, Jordan and I spend our lives trying to keep tabs of what's happening, right? It's busy.
Yeah, and we're probably going to learn that live today because we're going to see if I know where all the new things actually are. And as always, I'll probably have to get Andy to actually show me where things are. So hopefully this will be educational for all of us.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot going on, and that's what you want from a product that you're working with. It's like it's continually evolving, continually developing, and thanks to everyone that uses the product and the feedback that you're sharing, it means that we can truly shape this product around you, which is the bit that we love the most. All right, so let's talk about a little bit around what happened last year and a couple of highlights. Obviously, I can't put all features on one single slide because we'd be here all day and no one needs to hear me talk for the next hour, that is for sure. But give you a bit of a high level. Number one, resize designs with expand image, which I find is so useful. Oftentimes we've got an asset and you wish that you could format it for another channel, but now you can, and it will use AI to resize and expand any image to fill the new canvas size. Recoloring graphics, this particular one is so useful when we're working with brands and we have our brand color, our brand asset, and a brand palette, and we've uploaded an asset and then we want that asset to reflect our brand colors. So now we can recolor graphics automatically. You'll find those options in the brand kit. Rewriting text. So if hopefully you're a better copywriter than I am, which wouldn't be very difficult. Oftentimes you're struggling for the best phrasing and how can we word things the most effectively. This is where rewrite text already exists in Adobe Express today. So for when you're creating any text, you have some options to rewrite it and just use AI to give you 3 different variations to make it more personable, make it more, have more humor in your copy, that kind of thing. Basically your assistant to make your copy a little bit better. Lightroom integration. This was such a popular request. Many of you wanted.
I'm so happy we have that.
Oh yes, and it's just again just making Adobe Express feel like part of your broader creative ecosystem. We already know that we can work with Illustrator and Photoshop files and drag and drop them in and make them fully editable in Express. We know that, but then we're continuing to add support for the rest of the creative Adobe ecosystem. Lightroom was the next one, so we just easily drag and drop our Lightroom photos. This one, slap bang in the middle, was one that Jordan and I have been speaking about loads. We had so much feedback for this. Sharing calendars, if you're working with a client, team members, you need to see and collaborate on a shared content calendar. So you've got visibility around what's upcoming. That's all live in the product now. A few other things.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's like the #1 request we got every single stream before it came out. So I am extremely happy to have that.
So pleased for that. And it's just like the content that's created together is better content. So even if it's not like a client or team member you're working with, just to allow like a colleague or a friend or whatever to say, oh, do you mind having a look at my calendar? This is the thing I'm working on. What do you think? It's just so nice when you can open up and collaborate like that. Bulk creating your designs, so importing a Excel spreadsheet and allowing you to automatically change components of a design. Bulk creation is something that I know so many of you are a fan of. We've shipped a whole bunch of new bulk create features last year, but there's even more coming this year too. So I won't spoil anything, but yeah, more to come here. Find and replace, so Control F or Apple F if you're a Mac user. If you've got a multi-page project, it's always a pain when you're like, oh, I wish I could change. Like if you've got a menu, say, that runs multiple pages, and you're like, I've made a typo, or I just need to change a menu item across 20 pages. What a pain to go and edit it manually, but you don't need to. Control F, find the stuff and edit across pages.
I didn't even know we had that. I'm learning.
I told you lots of changes.
Yeah. It is genuinely like every time I log in, I feel like there's something new. So especially for those of you who've been like longtime Express users and are excited to see new things, they're happening and they're coming out all the time. And I feel like every time I log in, there's like a new button of something. So
exactly,
this is cool.
Yeah, there's a lot, but so yeah, next one, adding tables to designs. So we're continuing to add support for more document types. So whether it's kind of longer form written content that you might use for white papers, blogs, etc. Presentations is a big thing, but also tables, right? Because sometimes we need to present information in that kind of way. So now you can add your tables to designs. We're continuing to add like more formatting options to really make your tables look a lot better than an Excel ultimately. So when you need to present stuff in a tabular form, but you want it to make it look cool, tables and cool haven't usually gone together very well. But now you can. And
I feel like that's so huge too, because it's really jarring when you have like a beautiful layout and then like a copied, pasted, black and white sheet just as in there. So like it's really nice to be able to especially use your branding, which is a huge part of Express, being able to use like the colors and make sure everything looks the way that you wanted to. I feel like that is huge.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. Yeah, and then, well, I was gonna say finally, but this is just a small selection. But quite often, you've got shapes and borders that you can add in Adobe Express, but you can draw your own shapes if you want to. So if you are more creative than I am, perhaps, you can draw your own shapes and make those into new borders for your assets and designs, etc. So drawing has been a big focus for us over the last year to allow you just more expressiveness in your designs and more customization and control, etc. So yeah, all of that wrapped in, new mobile app came out last year, iPad app has launched, etc.
Can't believe that was only last year. That is nuts.
It is wild, isn't it? So anyway, great solid foundation to build on. So really what we're going to talk about now is a kind of TLDR summary of everything that's really important that's dropped over the first quarter of this year. Obviously, we're sneaking a few bits that will be dropping in time for Adobe Max this week. So, hey, you're joining us on Adobe Live, so you get a little bit ahead of the curve here. But yeah, still so much more to come. So with that, Jordan, should we do some more live demos? Because no one needs to see me presenting through a slide deck. I think we can bring the...
Yeah, let's do it. Let me switch to my screen. And yeah, again, this is going to be, if you've watched the Jordan and Andy show before, this is going to be me trying to find all the new features and Andy graciously helping me as we go through them.
You got it.
Yeah, where should we start? There are so many things we could start with. What do you think is
Let's do some of the new social orientated stuff. Like
okay, perfect.
alt text, etc. That kind of thing.
So let's just go into, I'll go into my favorites and just pull, can we do it with a story size template? Would that work?
Yeah.
Everything you want to show? Okay, cool. Let's do, I've been customizing, if you follow me on social, I've been using this template to share all of my, like, where I'm traveling to, because I love this layout. I've just been swapping out like a video of where I'm going in the city that I'm going to. So this is one of my favorite layouts at the moment. All right, so just hit scheduler, or should I do anything else before we?
Yeah, so let's
that?
go ahead and hit share here.
Okay, cool.
Let's get into scheduler.
Hold on, let me refresh this. Maybe we're starting with a different one. Okay, here we go. Perfect. All right. So if you've never played around with the social media scheduler, if this is your first time seeing it, it's what Andy and I talk about all the time. So if you have more questions about this, like, we have so many streams, but basically in any project, if you head up to share and then share to social, this is, this is what Andy, this is how we have Andy here, is because he brought this scheduler over to Adobe. And one thing that I love about it is that you can play around with it completely for free. So if you want to just test it out and see if it fits in with your workflow, if you've never used a social media scheduler, or you want to try it out and see if you want to switch, there's no like limit to there's no limit to the number of posts that you can make, which is great. So, okay, here we are. Start with alt text.
Yeah, let's do
first. Okay. So you probably know the importance of alt text, but if you don't, this is huge for accessibility. So like here, I would say something like, sharing a good morning message with a photo of a healthy breakfast. And especially if you are promoting a product or a service, like if you are a small business owner, this is also a great place to kind of tap into like SEO as well. So it's win-win. You can help with accessibility and also searchability and all of that good stuff. So if you haven't used alt text, just a great place to describe the image and describe what you're seeing. Anything else
It's all good.
You always interrupt me or add on to things if I skip anything. So yeah, as you can see, new, add alt text. We also, my LinkedIn keeps disappearing, even though that's the one I post on the most. But you can connect to Facebook, Instagram, X, Pinterest, TikTok, and LinkedIn, even though mine has disappeared. As we mentioned too, the shared calendars, I have 3 shared calendars here, so I can choose between my personal calendar, which is going to be all of my personal socials. And I think I have I connected all of them to this shared calendar as well. So you can choose, like, this is a demo brand that I'm sharing with my team. So this is a nice way that we can like put all of our assets into a project. But I can also just share it to my personal channels as well. I guess I'll just choose, you know what, let's do Facebook and Instagram. And when you're adding your channels for the first time, just hit open connections and you can go ahead and add those. Here for Instagram, I can choose a post, a reel, or a story. So I'll choose, do you have a preference, Andy?
So we want to choose a story because
this
is a static, right? This is a static image.
Yeah, static.
Yeah. Which is obviously now new.
Yeah. So if you noticed before, we could only post videos as stories previously, right?
Yes, correct.
So now you can post static images as stories, which is huge if you have static images that you want to share as stories. That one's pretty self-explanatory, but just kind of opening the world of the types of things that you can post. So something that I really love about this is, like, I tend to think about when I'm posting a social, I tend to think about the feed post, and then my stories are kind of like, for me, they're a little more like off the cuff. And I think that's because I never really thought about scheduling them. So this is huge. Like, I think, you know, especially for things like multiple reminders, so you're not blowing up your feed. But if you have like an event that's coming up or something like that, and you want to make sure people really see it, this is a great thing. Anything else to add here that I'm missing?
No, I think that is all good. So let's go ahead and schedule that. And just looking at some questions in the chat. So a couple of questions from you, Damien. You wanted some clarification on, so SEO works in alt text for social search. I know that for certain on Pinterest. I'm not entirely certain on other platforms, but Pinterest is very, very strong. So yeah, just note that is probably more of a preference for Pinterest, because Pinterest actually serves more of an SEO benefit than the other platforms do. Melinda,
I was gonna say, are you comfortable taking that question?
I don't know if we should be talking about this yet, but hey, we're screen sharing and it's right in front of us. So
well, yeah, okay. That genuinely wasn't there when I checked last night, but if we're cool talking about it, let's go.
It won't be available for everyone for a few weeks yet, but it's getting there. Anyway, so Melinda, especially for you, here's your present, right in the middle. I'm gonna click on that.
Yeah, I actually have never seen this.
So when you hover over the design,
with it on.
Yeah. So although it's probably worthwhile saying that because this is internal, you know, we're still building stuff into it. So expect to see your social safe zone turn up very, very soon, and you'll be able to choose. That toggle will allow you, depending on whatever task type you're looking at, that safe zone will show the area in your design that you're okay of working within. So just note that one. So once you toggle that one on, it will then show a little kind of pink line so you can see the area that you can work within. But just note, obviously, we're just showing a very high level where the toggle will be placed. But just know it's not available to everyone yet. But I
did see this was teased publicly because I'm in the user voice all the time. So if you ever go to like request a feature, it was just teased that this is coming soon. So I don't feel too bad about letting you all know, because that's a huge request, especially when you're making a lot of things for social or whatever. You want to know exactly where it can go.
Yeah, really excited about that. We'll be adding a whole bunch of channels into that. So whilst we're showing a story layout here, we'll be applying safe zones to all different channel types, so that you can be safe in the knowledge. And it's going to be so good when you're making like a multi-page project where you're resizing across different, you know, taking one from like stories to TikTok, etc. Because even though it's all in 9:16, safe zones have some nuances. So when you can flick between those different pages and see the different safe zones, golden. So very, very happy about this. You won't have very long to wait. As you can see, we're just testing this out internally, make sure it's all good before we unleash it unto the world.
I feel like this could be a good place to show the generative resize that we were talking about too. Should we do that?
Yeah, we do that.
So resize is not a brand new feature. You've probably heard us talk about it before. I think this is one of like the greatest parts of Express. I genuinely use it all the time. If you're new to resize, you can basically resize your graphic into custom sizes, or the team has put together all of these different presets for whatever you're looking for: social media, video presets, marketing for like letterheads, email headers, all that stuff. So you don't have to, the number of times I have searched for the dimensions of different social. So we have that, but something that's new-ish is down here with this expand image. This is going to use generative expand, if you've played with that in Photoshop, which was one of the biggest things that I have seen come out to Photoshop personally for like things I use. And the fact that we have that in Express is amazing. So let's try this as a square post. This can still only be done one at a time, right, Andy?
Yeah.
Or is that new? So just to give you a heads up, if you want, like normally you can resize to as many different sizes as you want, but if you're using the generative expand image, you just have to do it one at a time. So just wanted to give that heads up in case you see that, but here's our little magical AI moving. This is also, I guess, a good time. We'll just use the stream as like a little recap, but a good time to call out that this is all generated with, oh, funny, the image must be flipped in the template. It's like, why is this backwards? That's really funny. Yeah, so you can see like this, didn't exist, and now we have this extended image. So this is really great for backgrounds, especially if you have something with, like a sky or field and you just want it to fill out the entire image. You'll get a few different results here, and this is generated with Adobe Firefly, which we can talk more about. But the good thing about that is the way the model is trained is it's designed to be commercially safe. So you can use this for your small business or your big business or your personal life and not have to worry about what the model's trained on. So that's pretty cool. I love this. Yeah, I think that's great.
Nice. Love that. Right. Should we also show, as we're talking about social media oriented features,
yeah.
Let's do custom Reels covers.
Yeah. Up into share, right?
Yeah, we'll need to
still go back. Okay.
Yeah, turn this into a video first, maybe just animate some components.
Got it. Well, actually, yeah. This is only text, so we'll show some different ones, and I think, should we call it the recommended fonts?
Good idea.
Update too? Yeah, so if you've used recommended fonts before, they've been here for a while, but they've gotten better. No shade to the old recommended fonts, but sometimes they would be like pretty different. And so something that's really nice about this update is that there are different categories. So it's like, these are tailored for your design. These are specifically good for social media. These are kind of more like a little bolder, a little more standout, similar fonts. So if you want something that's like, this is what I tend to usually want, something that's very similar, but not exactly the same. So it's really, really nice to have that. I feel like this is like super powerful font recommendations that I don't normally think would be in like a tool like Express. Like I know this is kind of, you can do this in like Retype and Illustrator, but that's what's so cool about Express is that it's taking all of these things powered by like the Pro Tools and putting them into Express in an easy to use way. And then the more suggestions get a little wild if you just want to see like good suggestions that are totally different. But that's recommended fonts. Let's just animate this really quick. There's a question from Sophie about if you can manage ads in Scheduler.
No, you can't manage ads. There'll be some ads things that we're working on right now, actually, that we'll share more about in probably in a matter of weeks. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for stuff that will be related to ads, but you can't manage ads today in Express. And then literally, any plans to bring Pantone libraries or Pantone Connect into Adobe Express so we can keep brand spot colors inside the app? No specific plans for that. We do have some plans that probably would skip that step, that will allow you to automatically import all of your brand components, either from putting in a URL or uploading a brand kit directly. So you could upload, if lots of people have like a brand book, if you will, like a file or something like that, you can very soon you'll be able to upload that into Express, and it will spit out or upload all of the components of your brand kit. Just trying to make life,
that would be so cool,
easier rather than lots of different components. So yeah, no plans for Pantone, but I think we can go one better and just make the whole kind of brand creation piece in Express, making that even easier. Scott's also got a quick question of does schedule work on mobile? The answer to that question is yes. So all the key features that Jordan's just shown, you can get it on mobile.
Yeah, I'm going to show some more. Okay, so I'm going to share this, the difference here being that this is a video. And so let's go to Instagram, share this as a reel. And while this is uploading, we can show though that, yeah, the same alt text is still here. And this is what I want, right?
No, once the video's uploaded, there you go.
Oh, this would give me like a, what would this do?
Add additional pages, but you
I
don't
would have to make it a post.
Yeah.
To have that work. Cool. Here we go. This is what I want. Edit the reel cover. So, this is huge, especially if you do like talking videos like I do, and then the automatic selection is like you making the derpiest face in the world. It is really, really nice to be able to actually choose and not just leave it up to the social media gods. So you can select a frame. This is again like this isn't a super intense video, but the thing that is nice is I would want to choose something, you know, because I'm animating the text, I would want to choose a frame where all the text is showing. So it's really nice to be able to do that. But I could also upload my own, add a custom cover, or that's cool, you can restore to the original. So actually in this case, this is probably like what I would make something like this as my reel cover, because this looks great. And then maybe, you know, my reel is something else like me traveling around or whatever. So that's really nice if you want to create your designs in Express or, you know, wherever, use a particular photo. You can actually add a custom cover to make your feed look the way you want, which is huge. It's really, really nice that you can do that right in Scheduler. That's also been a huge request, and I am extremely happy that we have it.
Love it. Should we hit some animation feature up?
Yeah, I have another template in mind. Sweet. That is heading to my favorites here, where I just keep all my favorite templates. Where is the one that I want? This one is kind of it's nice to show animations because it's just kind of a wild sticker sheet. So these are already like animated in that way. Let me turn this off. Let me turn off all of the animations though, so that we can play with our own. Okay, is this flat now? Okay, great. So animations. We love animations. They are, again, like, this is kind of the highlights of me and Andy's favorite features in Express. The great thing about animating is that it's pretty difficult to do pretty often. Like, a lot of the pro animation tools take a bit of learning, and animating is a really nice way to be able to just add like a little bit of movement, whether you want to kind of cheat a video like I just did with that other post by just, you know, animating some text, or this is a really cool way. I don't think we mentioned on this stream yet that you can import like your Photoshop, your Illustrator files. And so if you wanted to take something that you created in Illustrator and then just animate certain pieces of it, that's something I see a lot of artists do. And it's really cool. So we've had certain animations before. You can just click on anything, whether it's text, a photo, a design asset, a shape, and right here in the animations options, it's literally as easy as just clicking on it. So we can animate in, which means it'll animate in. You can do a looping animation, so it'll just go for as long as your timeline down here is. So in this case, mine is 6 minutes, or sorry, 6 seconds. I could drag it out to make it longer. And then you can animate out. So if you want it to, you know, end off the page, we have different options there. So like, you know, things that we've been able to do before. Oh, I don't want in, I want to loop. Like I could spin this. A nice hidden trick with animations is don't miss this. All of them have this like settings component, and this is huge to make everything super customizable. So like I can make it really spin, or like turn it all the way down and make it really slow and change the direction, and all of those things that are like really what you want. especially if you're, curating your design, being able to really easily with these sliders, like adjust those things is pretty huge. So that's animations in general. This is not new per se. This came out a little while ago, but you can animate all, which is going to give you these like really fun, it's basically going to use AI to like see everything in your image and animate it all together. But we do have some brand new animations. Let's find a good one. Maybe this
animate all
butterfly. Yeah, animate all is really great if you just want everything to kind of like fall into screen, and not have to, especially a design like this with this many layers, not have to manually like orchestrate it. It'll just go. So one of the new, this is actually the best version I've seen. One of the new animations is this wind, and we can again play with the speed and the flexibility and the direction. But looking at my little butterfly here, these are dynamic animations, so they're like they're doing a little more. Yeah, physics based. Thank you. Yeah. So like, I don't know. Can you describe that more? I'm not the best person for this.
Animations can feel a little bit, I guess, common, maybe. They don't really feel like they stand out sometimes, right? Because we all get used to seeing animated content, something fading in, something fading out, or zooming in or zooming out, something like that. But physics-based animations like wind, for example, has an element of unpredictability to it, right? Whilst it will follow your direction and your commands, it feels less linear than other animations, which I think is a really important thing as we think about like how our content might well stand out. Of course, the application of the wind animation will only apply in certain use cases. You're not going to want to use it all the time, but it just adds that extra little bit where you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting, and it captures the eye as like things are moving across the screen. So yeah, it's quite cool. So either way, this physics-based animation model, if you will, is something that we're continuing to build out. Obviously, there's another one Jordan will show in a second, but
yeah. But look how fun this is. I will say, in my playing around so far, I prefer the way it looks on icons and stickers like this. Sometimes you can get some, play around. You can get some real goofy versions if you use because you can do it on photos, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and then sometimes that looks a little silly. So I think playing around with these types of stickers, design elements, shapes, that type of thing. Okay, and then let's see what else. Let's pick this one. Oh yeah, wobble. Yeah, this should work fine. We also have wobble, which will animate in. And again, we can choose the direction. We can choose this can really get nuts. You can level up the spring and the squish, which I never thought those are words I would say on an Adobe stream, but yeah, like you can, again, let me pull another one too. Maybe the bow. Let's just have it come in. Let's change these just to see. Okay, we're gonna have a lot going on here, but yeah, you can kind of see like the difference in depending on which of the sliders. Like it really does make a huge difference. So that is wobble that is in the animate in. And then if you want to loop, we have wind. There's also, should we talk about these are new, right?
Do those about that? Images, because I think they're
on images. Okay.
Yeah, because this has been like an ongoing piece of feedback that we've heard again and again, where so many of you had asked for what's described as like a Ken Burns effect. I actually don't understand the cultural reference to Ken Burns effect, if I'm honest, but
really?
No, I don't know if it translates in the UK. So
that's so funny.
Yeah, so you might have to educate me here, Jordan.
It's just the documentary zoom, the slow, slow pan.
Yeah. Yeah, unless I've missed a memo. I'm not sure if that well known in the UK. But anyway, lots of people describe it as that, where basically that zooming in on a photo. So many people have asked for it. So let's find some form of photo that we can use here, because I think that.
Yeah, what's like a good, is it something that has like a photo as the whole background or something like this?
No, I would. A good example. Start from a blank project and just bring in a couple of a stock photo.
Oh, cool. Let's do that. All right, let's just do a square. What kind of photo are we looking for?
Well,
what are you in the mood for?
Documentary. Let's do some wildlife maybe.
Yeah. Media photos. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Will this work?
That guy,
This little guy. Okay, should I fill?
Let's select.
Do it like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, select it.
So over in animation, let's do zoom in. Okay, so now we just by choosing the animation, we automatically get this timeline down here, which again, you can extend or shorten, which is making this into a video. But let's see, we chose zoom in. Let's see what this looks like. And this is really hard to, yeah, he's gonna hug you. This is really hard to do without this button because I've tried. So I am so excited for this. Let's do the zoom out, but this is just gonna actually be kind of sad because you're just getting further away and you're leaving. You're leaving this poor baby. But I think that's something that's kind of funny, like, you know, talking about like the emotion of design and especially on social, like those are very different feelings that I have depending on which of these we're choosing. I'm actually gonna go back to the other one. So yeah, this is really nice. Like, let's just make, yeah, this is a really nice way to like just smoothly kind of do this zoom in. I'm super excited about this. I didn't have this in my account yesterday. So this is hot off the presses, and I feel like there are so many ways that I can use this for social posts, especially because like, yeah, there are tons of times where I don't have a very intricate design and just something like that that's just like a slow bit of movement. And same thing, as always, you can click in and choose if you want it to zoom all the way in, like depending on how intense you want that to be, which is perfect.
I love it.
We don't have, this is only in and out at the moment, right? There isn't like a pan or anything yet. Okay, cool. Any other animations?
There's one other animation component. Let's see if it'll work on this design here. And actually,
should I turn this one off?
This is kind of, I'm going to permit me to do a very quick tangent here, Jordan. So yeah. Because they zoom in always makes me think of like so many memes that you see, like so many GIFs, we like zoom in on something and it always adds that like comedic effect. And it just makes me think that you just want to turn this lovable little raccoon dude into like a meme or something. But anyway,
yeah,
GIFs and stuff. This is something that, again, so many people ask for. We have a huge Giphy selection now, but it's kind of hidden. So if you just head to add-ons for me real quick. It's design a second.
And search Giphy?
It's actually called Gifinity. So there's the add-on.
Is it PH? Here we go. No, F. GIF.
Cool. There you go. So just search that. You can have a whole bunch of GIFs there, and we all love GIFs. So there you go. So if you want GIFs in Express and you want to add some extra fun to it with some zoom in stuff, then you can.
That is really fun. Okay, this is gonna be insane. This is really silly.
So there you go. Have a load of fun with that. So that's all cool. Especially as we're making kind of, we see how popular some like low production value content is on, and like reaction stuff is on social. So I can see some of that kind of stuff working really well. But anyway,
Can you upload your own GIFs at the moment, or just pull in from the add-on?
Yeah, you can upload your own.
Okay, so if you made your own GIFs, which actually you can do as a quick action in Adobe Express, you can add your own. Cool, that's awesome, sweet. And then it just treats it like a video.
Yeah, it does.
Like a looping video. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, cool. So let's click on our raccoon friend.
Okay.
All right, so let's remove the animation that we've got on it so far.
Okay.
And cool. And then let's do an in animation, and let's just do like zoom in, or let's do drift in or something like that, or push. Doesn't really matter. Any of them are fine. But the feature I want to show you is
any of these? You mean?
Yeah, it needs to be an in one. So
okay.
So drifting, I think like let's have a look. I think like
I have drift right now, but I can do something like that.
Drift potentially will work. Oh no, actually a better one is slide. That's just underneath drift.
Okay.
Cool.
And Should I slow it down, or is that good?
Yeah. Toggle. And then this button, which is new, tiny little thing. This is
things. Start outside page. Yeah, let's make that longer. Yeah, this is really nice because without it, it just kind of like appears, but with it toggled on, this really, thanks for calling this out, I forgot. This really gives you some more, I have to get rid of Shaq, this is killing me. This is really nice to just give you more control over how this looks. So especially, if you want, like I've seen lots of folks use this with their own like hand drawing, like doodling in Fresco or creating things in Illustrator and importing them into Express. This is a really nice way to let you have things come in from off the page without having to like get super creative and do a bunch of like layered animations. You can just do that now, which is great with just the click of a button. So that is in any of these. It only works for in, right? Well, and I guess also out. Am I right about that? You can have it drop off the page. Come in and then leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, those are really great features just to and again, like my favorite thing about animations is that like this is the settings. It's these sliders, it's choosing from a couple drop downs. Like again, to me, animation was always something that I was like, that is just not in my skill set, not gonna happen. And the fact that it's so easy to use and play around with, and if you want to get really creative, you can group animations and animate things. You can kind of layer in different things, which is a little bit outside of my brain breaks a little bit. But for those of you who are like really into this, you can have a lot of fun and go nuts.
Right then.
So that's that. What's next?
Hit some video.
Okay.
Shall we? I'll probably start a new project for this one. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's do portrait. I'll just add that video of me before.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is not the greatest asset, so I'm very sorry, friends. It's actually really funny. For one of the things I want to show, I was literally just in New York where I could have taken the perfect video to show this off, but I didn't think that far ahead. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to do a little show and tell. But right now, when you click into a video, I used to use Adobe Podcast, which if you've used that before, please check it out. It's a great way to be able to just like level up your podcast. If you have it, again, very similar UI to Express, very easy to use. I think enhanced speech is also, some version of it is in Premiere. So again, like a lot of these features are powering the Pro Tools and the Creative Cloud, and we're getting like a really easy to use piece of it in Express, which I could not be more grateful for. Because before I used to make my videos in Express and then export them and then run them through something else. And so now the fact that we can use enhanced speech right in Express is huge. Again, like, I'm really sorry this isn't going to be the best example because I just took this video in my pretty quiet studio, even though today there is construction outside, so I could actually do a live video and maybe get rid of some of the crashing outside. But yeah, just hitting that, it'll automatically decrease background noise, make your voice stand out more. Again, with this slider, you can kind of adjust the intensity. So sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of background ambiance, like especially if you're outside, like your videos, you walking around outside, maybe you don't want it to be like sound like you're in a sound booth. Like that might be a little jarring. So you can play around with the intensity, which is nice. Or if you want to make sure it's like super crisp, this is huge for me because I travel a lot, and actually probably later today I'm going to try to record a video in the airport because that's just when I'm going to have time to do it, and they're not very quiet. So being able to use something like this to play around, we can just listen to it. Maybe. Actually, sorry, I should have hit that sooner. I think that's going to take a second. There we go. Hey everyone, I'm happy to invite you to an exciting workshop. So again, it would have been nice to have like a before and after with a lot of sound, but you can try it out for yourself. This is enhanced speech. And again, so nice, especially because I feel like that's one of the things that most videos, unless you're in a sound booth, unless you're in a studio that's set up very well for recording, you probably have some background noise that you want, or your audio's just not super crisp if you're not using like an incredible mic, which, I mean, honestly, our phone mics are pretty good, but just being able to add that little level up will, like, everything is about just taking your social content and making it that much better. This is a huge one.
Very cool.
There was another video thing. What is it? I can't remember.
Yeah, so yeah, recording yourself in the editor.
Yeah.
Yeah, conscious we got 10 minutes left and probably still another 10 features to share. So
sorry.
We're gonna
we'll just call it out then because you're already watching a recording of me. Where is this?
So you find this in upload media. So maybe you start another blank project.
Yeah.
So the scenario here is when we want to record something directly in the editor. So maybe you're doing like training video, instruction video, something like that, and you just want to record directly in the editor. So if you'll find that, find that in videos. Yeah, there you go. I'll let you take over from here, Jordan.
Well, this is I guess kind of similar to like the animate character or the character animator, where you could animate yourself as a character, but this is just using this is just recording yourself. So I mean, pretty straightforward. And then I actually haven't used this yet. So you can adjust your camera. This is showing my screen, I guess, and I just have a blank screen. That's what this is right here.
Yeah, it's only because you're sharing your screen.
Okay.
But yeah, ultimately, and to be honest, that's probably good enough for showing.
Yeah.
So
it's recording yourself. That's pretty straightforward.
exactly that. So
does this have the enhanced speech built in, or did I make that up?
But you can do that afterwards. So this, as soon as recorded it just becomes any other video in it.
Then you can just hit video and do that.
Apply animations, apply your enhanced speech, do all the other components. But it just skips a step if you actually just want to record directly into your computer rather than recording on your phone and having to upload it. So there you go.
Okay, tell me what else we're showing. That's all I remembered.
All right.
So we'll speed through this.
Cool, all good. So let's go ahead. You want to show some spell check at last?
Yeah. Let me just pull something that is pull something with some text. Hopefully this is all spelled right. But yeah, this is great. Is it auto turned on, or do we turn it on?
No, it's turned on. Yeah, it's
okay.
It's available should be available for everyone now. So spell something.
Is it? Okay, there we go. Look at that. red line that we've all been waiting for. Actually, this is so funny. At the event I did last week, we were like, we need spell check because we spelled something wrong in a poster that we made in Express. So yeah, and over here it has the you know, that's like a location, but it's so nice to have that built in, especially for like this is kind of a multiple page like PDF. You really want that is actually really funny that there is a real spelling error in my template here. This is really helpful to have. So yeah, especially when you're doing presentations, when you're doing PDFs, honestly, when you're doing anything, but the fact that we have a built-in spell check and it's just turned on. You don't have to do anything.
It just turns on, and obviously it will give you your suggestions when you click on the issues in question as well. So
there we go. Spell check. That is huge for people doing serious work in Express. Now you won't spell anything wrong, which we love.
Indeed. All right then. So where should we head next? Nice quick one to show. Let's head to generate similar.
Oh yeah. Well that
So
okay.
Yeah.
So clicking on, and it can be a regular photo or it can only be
anything.
Okay. So here we have a photo from this template here, and we can generate similar. So what this is going to do, but do you have to, I guess you do have to type something in. Let's type in party. Let's do dance party. And so it's going to, yeah.
I was just going to say, it's just as you're busy talking about it and generating this just shortcuts a step whereby you've had to add in a reference image where you want to generate something that looks like something already. So that way you just go into design. I think this is a really good example, to be honest, Jordan, where...
Yeah, and this is actually, there's a filter on this, which is why these look different. Sorry, keep talking, but yes.
But in any case, this is, good example here where you've gone ahead and looked at a template and you're like, this is quite cool, but I want to make it feel unique or different. Generating similar, really useful. Or if you're adding backgrounds in or something like that. So yeah, I think that's a really smart way of looking at it.
Well, and now while we're in here, can also show these, we have new filters, which is great. If you, I like to edit my photos in Lightroom because I want them to kind of look a specific way. And so now we actually have different Photoshop filters built into Express. There are tons of really good ones, like just giving you more control over what this looks like. I think before we had black and white, but I think we only had one or maybe two versions. So you can really this looks different depending on the vibe you're going for. And these are great. As always, you can hover in and bump down the intensity. I think disposable camera has been, actually soft pastel is my favorite. So if you really like what you can do in Lightroom, which is, make everything look similar and cohesive, it's really nice that you can, kind of pull from the same filters. Kathy's asking about the resolution of the generated images. Do you happen to know if they're high res? I do not know what they're generated at.
Resolution, but should be very high resolution. But I don't know the exact specs, to be honest. I need to dig them out.
Cool. Okay. In 3 minutes, or two minutes, what should I show for the last couple things? And cool. I'm sorry, I really didn't remember we had so many.
Yeah, there is a lot. What I'll do, just for the final two, let me just take over screen share quickly.
Okay, can we switch back to Andy?
Switch.
Just to give the list. And this is not our last stream about new features in Express. So definitely we will be back. Check out the Max London stream that's going to be available on Thursday. But okay, go ahead.
So just a couple just to quickly tick them off. If you're creating a new brand from scratch and you've uploaded your brand, you can now upload. It will find your color palette based on a logo upload. So if It just,
That's
again,
awesome.
like just skips a step as it relates to building your brand. So there's a lot we're doing to improve brand. We're also now have lots of people we have.
I saw this and I'm so happy. I've manually uploaded so many things for brands. This is so great.
The amount of components we have in our brands and we want to put in our brand kit and doing them one by one is a pain. So pain it is no more. So bulk upload, drag and drop, away you go. Like I said in answer to that comment earlier, whereby we're doing a lot to try and improve brands. This is just another step about improving ease of use, quality of life ultimately as it relates to but there's so much more to come. There's a quick replace option that you'll see in editor too. So where let's just say you've got this template that you regularly use, let's say a product shot similar to this, and you very quickly want to just replace the text in this and the components in it. Here we kind of componentize, that's not a real word,
just streamlining it.
Exactly, rather than clicking in and doing replace, etc. Your quick replace just gives you the ways that I can just quickly click here and make those subtle tweaks to have multiple different pages, etc. Of course, we could kind of bulk create as well, which we can again create at scale through an Excel upload, which works in a kind of similar way. But this way, quick replace, super easy. Very important one as well. Very important is your drop shadow. So
we get asked for this all the time. So glad it's in there.
Got a product shot here, and then when we go into effects here, we have our shadow here. So drop shadow, smooth, that works well. So oh my word. I mean, it's so basic, but like again, we're just kind of filling those gaps that we needed, and so many of you have been asking for. So you've already done the shop filter?
Yeah, we are done. This will have to be our last thing. You can make a quick profile pic with a quick action. That's self-explanatory. That's a good one to end on. So I'm sorry for cutting us short on these. I really truly didn't realize how many new features we had. But Andy and I will be back. There are more streams today. There's going to be lots of news coming out later this week on Adobe updates. So definitely stay tuned. Ping either of us anytime you have questions. I'm at Jordan Danae Ellis. Andy is at Andy R. Lambert. We're online. We're available if you want to play around with some of these new features and have questions. Ping us anytime, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, Andy, for walking us through all those updates, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you, everyone. See you very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.